Measles is a negative sense enveloped RNA virus that is part of the Paramyxoviridae family, which has other viruses that we are familiar with, such as mumps and RSV. Measles has other names such as rubeola or morbillivirus and is spherical in shape. Measles is highly contagious with an R0 of 18. It is transmitted by air droplets and can also linger in the air for 2 to 3 hours and still be infectious. Although there is an effective vaccine, death rates are high in developing countries where the vaccine is not easily accessible. These mortality rates are often caused by complicating bacterial infections. There are 4 stages to measles infection. Stage 1 is incubation, which on average is 10 to 12 days. It is often asymptomatic, or individuals can experience the onset of a fever. Stage 2 of infection is the prodromal stage, which often lasts 2 to 4 days. Infected individuals start to experience a fever and the 3 C's. The first C is conjunctivitis, or inflammation of the eyes. The second C is coryza, which is a stuffy or runny nose. And the last C is a cough. Next is stage 3, which is essentially a widespread rash or exanthem. But before the widespread rash, you get the appearance of Koplik spots, which are small raised white spots or bumps that appear on the inside of an individual's mouth. These are often used to diagnose measles. This exanthem or widespread rash is usually 2 to 4 days after the onset of the fever. Here is where you see the classic measles rash, also known as macupapular rash. It starts at the head and spreads throughout the rest of the body, except the palms of the hand and soles of the feet. This rash lasts about 3 to 4 days. The infection period for measles is about 5 days before the rash and about 4 days after the end of this rash. More complications include pneumonia, other respiratory complications, diarrhea, and measles inclusion body encephalitis. Measles spread through the lymphatic system, central nervous system, and immune cells. It also replicates in the lungs, which is how it spreads so rapidly. The 4th stage is recovery and includes darkening and clearance of the rash, and improvement of symptoms around 48 hours after this rash disappears. The receptors for measles are SLAM or CD150, CD46, and Nectin-4. Measles infection diminishes pre-existent antibodies to other pathogens. How does it do this? Well, it infects both T and B lymphocytes as well as dendritic cells, which all have the CD150 receptor. CD46 is also expressed on all nucleated human cells. Destroying these adaptive immunity cells negatively impacts the memory of your immune system. Measles infects epithelial cells in the upper respiratory tract, and the virus binds to receptors on target cells using hemagglutinin, or the H-glycoprotein, and fusion with the host membrane is facilitated by its F protein. Here is the measles life cycle. After attachment and entry into the cell, the nucleocapsid releases its genome into the cytoplasm. Next is transcription, followed by translation, which leads to the production of the H and F glycoproteins that are eventually presented on the viral membrane. There is also genomic RNA replication. The antigenome is used here to make more copies of the viral genome. After is assembly of the viral RNA with the capsid, and the cell buds off from the host cell. Measles vaccine is effective with only 2 doses. It can be administered intramuscularly or subcutaneously. The MMR vaccine has decreased incidence of childhood diseases. However, there are many sporadic outbreaks due to vaccine hesitancy. Thank you for listening.